In our last sprint, we looked at the TULIP engine, the Calvinist operating system where salvation is locked down 100% on the server side. Locking the user out entirely creates perfect stability. The system hits its exact goals every single time, and human error is completely removed from the equation. But that ironclad security produces a massive logic error regarding justice. If a loving server regenerates node A, but actively bypasses node B when it has the processing power to save both, that framework starts to look less like grace and more like arbitrary discrimination. Down on the client side, the user experience becomes depressing. If every choice you make is already hard-coded before you boot up, your active input means nothing. The result is fatalism, the realization that you are simply a passive passenger in your own life. For many early theological developers, sacrificing justice and agency to get stability was simply too high a price. They needed an alternative architecture. They needed an OS that maintains a creator's ultimate purpose, while actually granting humans root access, genuine free will. This brings us to the Arminian framework. But before we look at how this system runs, we have to clear up a false premise that usually gets thrown at it. Critics often claim this OS assumes humans have the natural strength or the inherent goodness to simply choose God on their own. That is entirely false. Arminianism agrees with the Calvinist baseline of total depravity. The human system is utterly crashed, paralyzed by the malware of sin. Because the user is locked out of their own hardware, they cannot initiate a fix. Any repair protocol has to be pushed from the outside. This is where a developer named John Wesley refined the architecture with a brilliant patch. He called it Prevenient Grace, the grace that comes before. Think of the human heart as a smartphone. Right now, the screen is covered in a thick malware overlay. The Accept button to connect with God is grayed out. The user literally cannot click it. Instead of quietly updating a select whitelist of users, God pushes Prevenient Grace as a lightweight antivirus to every single node on the network, universally. Notice what this patch actually does. It doesn't force an automatic installation of salvation. It simply neutralizes the malware enough to unlock the screen. The interface is responsive again. With the device unlocked, God sends the salvation notification, but the final binary choice, to accept or reject the prompt, is left entirely in the hands of the human. This solves the justice deficit immediately. If a user perishes, God is completely clean. He provided the necessary patch to everyone without exception. That specific user just consciously tapped reject. By deploying Prevenient Grace, God maintains his sovereignty as the network administrator, while giving humans real agency. The fatalism bug is completely eradicated. The user experience of free will is appealing. But relying on ongoing user input introduces massive new vulnerabilities to the server. Warning 1. Vulnerable uptime. If a user has the free will to click Accept today, mathematical logic dictates they retain the freedom to hit Uninstall tomorrow. In the Wesleyan version of this OS, apostasy is a real threat. Compared to Calvinism's rigid, unbreakable security, this constant threat of losing your salvation makes the Arminian network feel terrifyingly unstable to many users. Warning 2. The Synergism Bug. Synergism simply means working together. If salvation requires human cooperation with God's code, does the human accrue partial credit or merit for saving themselves? The standard defense here is highly logical. Simply opening a door that someone else built and unlocked is an act of receiving a gift. It is not an act of meritorious construction. Warning 3 is where the logic really stumbles. The Foreknowledge Loophole. Both sides agree that God possesses absolute foresight. He knows the outcome of every future user input. This creates a severe paradox. If God knows prior to creation that user X will inevitably press reject and burn, why did God compile user X's code in the first place? The theological community found itself trapped. On one side, Calvinism offers strict security but deletes freedom. On the other, Arminianism offers fair freedom but drops connection on security and stumbles over foreknowledge. So is that it? Are we simply forced to pick our poison and choose which bug we are willing to live with? A late 16th century developer named Luis de Molina refused to compromise between the two extremes. He drafted a third architecture, a system designed to merge the absolute certainty of Calvinism with the genuine free will of Arminianism, using a computational logic that perfectly mirrors modern AI simulations. In our next sprint, we're testing that code. We are entering the Molinism sandbox.